Alright guys, so we're having our look at Bless Unleashed on the PC side. This is going to be a first. So we're going to have a look at controls today and see how the game kind of plays out. That's the biggest concern I have moving from console to PC, but hopefully it feels good. We'll go through the tutorial, we'll have a bit of a chat afterwards, and we'll go on to the game and see how it performs. My computer's a little bit of the higher spectrum with a 2080 Ti, but I will be testing on other computers with lower specs. I have 10 surrounding me in the shop. So this is actually different. We've just finished the first tutorial boss, and it looks like they're forcing you to go to the island. So we don't have an option. I think that's a little bit weird. This might change, or they're making it a part of the game moving forward. It is prudent to know that if you do decide to do the tutorial bit, which is the bit that we had just done, it does give you a couple of levels instead of starting at level 1. I don't find it to be too much of a big deal, considering you can kill a couple of wolves and Wolf King just down the road to get to the same kind of point. So you might want to save the time if it lets you skip. It honestly didn't let me skip there. It didn't come up with, do you wish to skip the tutorial? So it took us straight in. So I don't know whether that's going to stay or go. We'll see. Anyway, once you start the game, you end up in this little shack, I guess you could call it. There are chests like this surrounding the world. They are imperative. You must get these chests. Every time you see them on the map, don't ignore them like a lot of people did. Basically, they give you tokens. I'm going to call them tokens. And they increase your bag space. So 4 of these tokens will gain you 1 inventory slot. This is the way to increase your inventory slots. Other than this, you have the loom store. That's it. So you got to make a decision. The loom store is a cash shop store. Don't worry, it's not pay to win. It's just for convenience, which most of the players, you know, we don't mind that kind of stuff. As soon as they add pay to win elements, which we're not even going to discuss, it's a different story, but for now we're all good. So just remember the bag spaces or the chests that you find surrounding the world, which we'll encounter a bit here as well, so I'll point them out as we go, are really imperative for you to get. Please take your time and get them. You'll be screaming if you don't. As you enter the worlds or new areas, you'll get like a brief cinematic cutscene, which basically spans out across the landscape, showing you things. It's a nice kind of feature. I love it. Something prudent to note, it looks like we were capped just before at 60 FPS. We are now at 201. So it looks like that area might have been capped. I haven't changed resolution. I haven't done anything different. It looks like... yeah, I'm not too sure why that occurred, but I can definitely tell you there is a significant difference with the feel and movement of the characters now. Love mage, love mage. I always main a mage, just absolutely love it. High single target damage, high AoE damage, especially early game. Not many classes have both. This is something we didn't have back in the day. Going to your mail straight out of the gate has given us a C grade green weapon. Back in the day, we were stuck with grey weapons and we had to find new weapons, upgrade. So this is actually a welcoming feature function that I absolutely... well, I'm overjoyed. I'm overjoyed for me. I'm overjoyed for new players. Absolutely fantastic. As a mage, we can use and abuse this bit. Absolutely crazy as a mage. Like I said, if you clump the mobs together and you use your amplifier, gaining 100% crit hit rate for a period of time, using the ice AoE is just... man, it is ridiculous. I can tell you guys one thing. I can feel the difference. I'm not talking shit. I'm not making that up. It feels so good. Like, I'm moving my mouse very slowly with very high sensitivity, and it just is buttery smooth. Buttery smooth. There's no frame drops. It's just fantastic. Alright, so we're at our Starseed exchanger, and this is imperative. This is the biggest thing for Bless Unleashed, in my opinion, the absolute biggest. As you level, every 5 or so levels, you get an exchange a day. An exchange a day is basically granting you Starseeds. So it converts the gold that you earn to Starseeds. And like I said, Starseeds is used for upgrading your gear and buying things off the marketplace. Even if you decide not to play that day and you're home and you're not doing anything, and granted, I'm not telling people to always jump on the game. It is a good idea just to log on real quick, leave your character at an exchanger, exchange, and then come back the next day. So you're getting that occurring currency that you're not missing out. Early on, if you do miss out on Starseeds, it's not like it's hard to catch up. It's not. But it does lead you a little bit disadvantaged at the early days. That's my opinion, but you take it as you will. So when you do buy your horse, whether you buy it at the start of the game or whether you buy it now just outside of Kazakor on your way to the amphitheater for the story quest, you will get a card in your inventory under the consumable tab. You must click this before you can apply it in your mounts options, which is found in your menus down the bottom left. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't go straight to your options under mounts. It goes into your inventory, which you then have to activate. Little bit dicky, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Inventory, then mount option. Your very first field boss, I would say proper field boss. Wolf King really wasn't much of a boss, but this is really your first, where it starts getting a bit real. The best thing about the giants are they're really, really slow. If you're ranged, you just have to kind of stay out of the cleave area. But you can definitely do these solo. As a melee, you just gotta be a little bit more careful. Make sure you got the stam to roll out of any appending swings or the line attack that he does when he stomps his feet down. A lot of the giants do this kind of same, similar motions, so they're all kind of the same. The fire one does like a fire pit underneath your feet. This one will throw rocks at you and does the cleave. They all do the cleave. Guys, pro tip, once you get to this area, which is basically southern farmland, so we've come from Kazakor, we went to the amphitheater, we killed the ghost. We've come further down, past the giant that we just fought up here, and we ended up down in the southern farmland. Now, this area is insanely good for herbs. Insanely. So if you want to get a good head start with either grabbing potions for your journeys onwards throughout the game, or whether you want to level up alchemy, whatever, this is the place to do it. There are so many plants surrounding this whole area. It is absolutely ridiculous. Depending on how many people are obviously here at launch, it does become somewhat problematic, but you can generally keep hopping servers until you find a nice empty spot, and you can keep doing this over and over again. So, fantastic source of herbs. This is probably one of my favorite spots. The only other spot that really has considerable mention is outside of Kazakor. When you came out of here, just past the merchant, there's all these sick horses from kind of here down to here. There are tons of herbs, and the best bit about this is, even though the horses are level 9 and you would be level 4 to 5, depending on how long you spent fighting monsters previously coming out of Kazakor, they don't aggro on you, so they all have white names, so you can farm freely throughout this whole area. And this area is a little bit more secluded because it's out of the way from the main pathing of everybody else, so that's a good good tip as well.